Okay, hello everybody. Today we're going to learn how to draw cliffs. And a cliff is going to kind of be, these fantasy cliffs are going to be very, very mountainous. But we're not going to do just a standard triangle mountain line. We're just going to come down and we're going to build these really jagged lines that kind of have like stair steps to them. Like every once in a while you just kind of stair step out a little bit and then come down. And maybe come down inside a little bit and then stair step out and then come down. And these little flat areas allow us to go back in and add some of these houses that we wanted to it. You might have a house that's built right here. And maybe there's another one right behind it. You can add little stairs going from each house. And that's pretty cool. Because these cliffs are not just cliffs normally. They're there for everything we want to put on there. So if I have a whole group of little houses, built onto my cliff, maybe this one has a porch and it has some supports. There we go. And we'd go through and we'd add all the other details for those houses, but we could keep adding like a stairway that goes from each house to house. And my stairway is just right now these just lines, and as it maybe gets closer to us it turns into rectangles. Maybe I want to put a cave in my cliff. You can do that. Put a little line there for the autofocus. There we go. Fill in my cave. Add some little rock textures around it. And that's what's nice about this. We can add in some rock textures everywhere. When I add a tree, we can just come in and add like a really cool little tree. Maybe there's a little bush in front of this cave. It's a berry bush. It wasn't going to be a berry bush, but I had a little mess up there, and so I just decided to turn it into a berry bush. Maybe that's where all the best strawberries are. And then over here we can make our little church like we did before. This one might be taller and skinnier than the other version, but that's okay. And we may not see all of the church because some of the cliff is blocking it, and that's alright. We learned about that at the very beginning, about how things overlap. Okay, so and maybe this one has a little bit of an edge. Maybe there's another chunk of the cliff that's a little bit behind that. And that's right, because the cliffs are 3D. There could be chunks of the cliff that go behind. Like maybe there's a chunk of cliff that goes behind some of these houses and goes up a little higher. And that's alright. You can layer in these cliffs by drawing whatever is in front first, and then we add things that are behind it. We can create the look of things that are layered on top of each other. Maybe we make the house that's behind this one a little bit smaller. Still the same house, but drawn a little smaller than the other one. And I can put a little support area here, little bits of support coming out. Tinier door. Tinier chimney. And that's the thing, and then we could even add another little bit of the cliff behind that house. Maybe a little bit more rock texture. And we've got something pretty cool looking. We've got a cliff that has 4 houses on it, and a church. And maybe down here, it's got a castle. Maybe it's got a little military fort castle, and we can do a 3D version of a castle here. We can come in. Draw some of our squares. And then draw diagonal lines on this to make it look like 3D. Put some shading behind this. There we go. We've got a little cool castle wall built onto our cliff. And maybe we could put even a little castle tower behind it. Again, we won't see everything. There's a little princess window. Little curved lines on my towers so it looks like it's round. Little texture for the roof. Texture for the roof. And we've got a pretty cool looking picture. Now, this is one cliff. And we've got a stairway, a hidden cool cave, and we've got a berry bush, a chapel. But what else could we add to this? Well, you've got a lot of room. We should fill in some things down here that are just whatever you want. Maybe another part of the castle. Maybe the castle is kind of built into the cliff, so we got kind of just another part of the castle. And maybe they've got a big gate down here, kind of so they can guard who gets to be coming up to their cliffside town. And that's alright. Maybe the rocks help. You know, they built the castle into the cliff because cliff is doing half the job, you know, protecting. Don't have to build stone walls if you've already got them. Maybe put a little tower here. A little bit of texture on that tower. And maybe put some more stones right there. Just the same kind of crunchy lines I got before. Maybe a big kind of keep tower here in the middle. Put a little line behind that so it looks a little 3D. Some of my lines there. Just gonna make these brick lines a little smaller. And why not? Let's put a tree right here. And then kind of some big boulders that that fallen down off the top of our cliff, and then maybe some beach. We'll have some kind of waves coming in. Little arrowheads there pointing down for our portcullis. Or portcullis, sorry. Big old rocks. Look, it's a family of rocks. Mommy, daddy, baby rock. There we go. You know, I hear that they might form a band. Oh, that's terrible. It is a bad joke, but you know they really rock. Alright, so I'm just going to throw some more waves out here. And what's cool is I'm going to use some of our ideas about foreshortening. I'm going to throw a smaller version of this island cliffs back here. Just going to kind of small lines, little small things. Have some stair steps going forward and backward. And this small one, here's the waves. Itty bitty waves. Also has houses. These houses are tiny. Itty bitty. Maybe even have churches. Still tinier and itty bitty than the other one. But they're there. They even have castles. Maybe this one just has a giant castle tower. But it's all smaller because this island needs to look farther away than this one. So whatever we do is going to be really small. So I'm just going to draw the edge of the sky behind this island and that one. Maybe I'll even put a little medium-sized island in between here. Just while I have the chance before I draw that other bit of the line. You don't have to do that, but that's a lot of fun. And we can add our houses and things to that later. But by doing this, we can add some more little waves in between here. Bigger ones closer to us, little ones further away. We create this scene, and it looks pretty cool. Alright, so we understand how to draw houses, and we know how to draw churches, even castles, and now we know how to draw cliffs.